Happy New Year and welcome back to Japan Travel News about all the new things that are opening in Japan and what's coming up over the next few months. Today we've got a matcha-themed boat ride by Mount Fuji, new options for luggage storage, a few attractions that are closing temporarily, and the first permanent Sanrio Museum. So let's get started. First is attraction news. Finally, we have an opening date for Kawaii Monster Land. It's the 13th of February. It's a mini indoor theme park in Harajuku. The story goes it's an underground kawaii wonderland that's now been excavated. It's got small rides, games, performances by the Kawaii Monster staff. I love their outfits. A theme cafe and a shop. Tickets are available to book now. As it's new, I would recommend booking in advance just in case it's busy. You can get tickets on their official website where you choose a time slot to get in. There are various options. There's a basic ticket that just includes entry and nothing else. There's a package that has kawaii coins to use on the games, as well as food and one decorative item. So I'm guessing there'll be some sort of crafts activities where you can customize something. Sounds very decora. And there's an add-on to reserve one of the teacups on the ride for your own little photo shoot. Next, there's a new TeamLab style attraction in Osaka called Miracle World Osaka. It's not from TeamLab, but it's a similar sort of thing with immersive projection mapping all around you. Now, I can't say if it's any good or if it's just a rip-off of TeamLab. It seems like it's less arty than TeamLab. There's a room with animated idol girls, one with diamonds, and the poster has some sort of CG geisha type lady. So it seems a bit more pop culture, but there are abstract rooms as well. It seems like it's a lot smaller than the new TeamLab BioVortex in Kyoto, and remember it's so quick to get between Osaka and Kyoto, only 15 minutes on the shinkansen or 30 minutes on the regular train. I haven't been to the new TeamLab BioVortex, but I've heard it's really good. Some people are even saying it's the best TeamLab attraction, so tell me what you thought in the comments if you've been. Anyway, if you want to check out Miracle World Osaka, it's in Namba, which is one of Osaka's major city centres. It's not far from Dotonbori, so it's really easy to get to. Something similar is also opened in Yokohama, which is very close to Tokyo. It's called the Moveum Yokohama, and it also has immersive projections. Rather than wandering around exploring rooms freely, it has two studios where you watch the show from beginning to end. At the moment, there's one show about Gustav Klimt, the artist. That one's 40 minutes long, and there's another one about sounds and music around the world. It seems like they'll change over time, like temporary exhibitions. Next, if you like bonsai, one of the downfalls of being a foreign tourist is you can't bring them back home. I've watched enough airport shows to know that customs and immigration back in your home country won't be very happy if you try and bring live plants back. So now there's a new craft workshop in Osaka where you can make your own artificial bonsai with glue guns, branches, artificial moss and little cherry blossoms. It's called Hello Bonsai Club. They'll also be opening a branch in Kyoto in the downtown city centre area. Next, Immersive Fort Tokyo is closing at the end of February. It's an attraction in Odaiba with shows and interactive experiences where you wander around, listen to actors and watch things going on to discover the story. It was in the old Venus Fort shopping mall, which is grand European themed, a bit like a mini version of Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. I always really liked Venus Fort. It seems like Immersive Fort Tokyo didn't change the theming all that much, so I hope whoever owns it next does something with it. It seems like a waste to just demolish all that interesting theming. Next, there'll be an Evangelion Ride at Huis Ten Bosch theme park in the spring. Huis Ten Bosch, I never know how to say that. I think it might be Huis Ten Bosch, is a Dutch themed theme park in Nagasaki prefecture in Kyushu. Now, I don't really know anything about Evangelion, so I don't know if it's got anything to do with the Netherlands, but anyway, the new ride's called Evangelion The Ride 8K. It's Japan's first 8K flying theatre attraction. It'll have a giant domed screen to put you inside the story. I think a bit like Soarin' at Disney. Next, a couple of stamp rallies. There's one in Nihonbashi near Tokyo Station until the 15th of February. It's one of those ones where you layer stamps in different colours to print a picture. You can get the card from any of the stamp locations. There's also a stamp rally from Japan Railways called the JR East Legends Stamp Rally, with stamps of iconic trains from Japan. That one's all around the greater Tokyo area. You have to buy a booklet for this one. If you collect 10 stamps, there's a prize, and there's a bigger prize if you manage to collect 30 stamps. You can get the booklet from major JR East stations in Tokyo, so for example the big stations on the Yamanote line. Next, Hakone is a really popular day trip or side trip from Tokyo to see Mount Fuji and enjoy the hot springs. There's a new boat ride there on Lake Ashi, which is also where the pirate ships are. It's called Hakone Yusen Daichakai and it's green tea themed. The idea is you can enjoy special moments together over a cup of tea. The inside's themed like a modern version of a traditional Japanese tea room, so you can experience Japanese omotenashi, that's hospitality. Next, there'll be a permanent Sanrio Museum opening this year in Yamanashi prefecture. Now, there have been lots of Hello Kitty and Sanrio exhibitions, especially over the last couple of years, but this is the first permanent museum. It opens in April in Kai City near Kofu, which is where Sanrio's founder was born. It's called Yamanashi Ichigo no Osama Museum, which means Strawberry King Museum, in honour of their founder. Strawberries have significance in Sanrio history. Their first collection in the 60s was strawberry themed, and their magazine was called Strawberry News. The museum will cover the history of Sanrio with recreations of the founder's office. Next, a few temporary closures. Mirai-kan, the Science Museum in Odaiba, is closing temporarily for a refresh from the 1st of October 2026 until mid-April 2027. I really like that museum. It is many years since I've been there, but at the time they had lots of robots. And if you're planning on going to Nikko as a day trip or side trip from Tokyo to see the beautiful World Heritage temples and the national park, the Akechi Daira ropeway is closed from the 16th of January for quite a long time until August 2027. But there are still lots of other things to do in Nikko, so it's definitely still worth going. Next is food and restaurants. Tabelog has just launched a version of its app for foreign tourists. Tabelog is what most locals in Japan tend to use to find restaurants. You can check reviews, find restaurants nearby, search by type of food, and make reservations. Tell me in the comments if you use it. You can of course just use their website like before, but the new version of the app has different languages including English. Next, at conveyor belt sushi chain Kura Sushi, there's a special collab with Cinnamoroll, the super cute Sanrio character. There are some special items on the menu. There's Cinnamoroll's fluffy udon in the sky with cod roe and cream sauce, and flying apple soda with a cloud theme. There's special gifts for every 2,500 yen you spend, and Kura Sushi's gachapon game called Bikurapon has Cinnamoroll prizes. It's very cute. I definitely want them. They're also taking orders for Cinnamoroll ehomaki, which is a special sushi roll for Setsubun on the 3rd of February. You're supposed to face that year's lucky direction and eat the whole thing without talking. Next is travel news. Convenience store 7-Eleven is now offering luggage storage at some stores. If you need somewhere to put your luggage, coin lockers are always a go-to option, but if all the lockers are full, or if you can't find a large locker for your suitcases because there aren't so many of them, luggage storage is another option. Only 378 7-Eleven stores around Japan are offering luggage storage, which doesn't seem like that many compared to the total number of 21,000 7-Elevens around Japan. But you book it via a website called Ekbo Cloak, which has lots of other options for luggage storage as well, including karaoke bars, which is kind of interesting, and all sorts of places. It costs 500 yen a day for a bag or backpack and 800 yen per day for a suitcase. I should mention that if you arrive somewhere before your hotel's check-in time, your hotel will usually store it for you for free, and the same the day you check out if you want to come back and pick it up later. And if you want to know more about coin lockers, which are really useful, I have a video about how to use them and where to find them. Now, one of the things that can be tricky when you visit Japan is there aren't many public bins or trash cans. Generally, it's the culture that people take their rubbish home with them. So in some situations, you can end up carrying old wrappers around with you all day. But there's a new rule coming in Shibuya in Tokyo that requires certain places to provide bins for the public to use. That includes convenience stores and anywhere that offers takeout food and drinks. Now, convenience stores often have bins anyway, and with street food you can often take the packaging back to the place you got it from, so I don't know if it'll change things too much, but that starts from the 1st of April. There'll also be fines for dropping litter of 2,000 yen, which I think is fair enough. That covers the whole of Shibuya ward, which also includes Harajuku, Yoyogi and Ebisu. Just a short train news this time. The Tohoku Shinkansen is collaborating with the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. They've decorated the outside of some of the trains with the characters from the anime. They haven't released a schedule, so it's just a surprise if you spot one. The Tohoku Shinkansen runs north and east of Tokyo, and the collab's on until mid-May, so keep an eye out if you're going between Tokyo Station and Ueno Station, because the Shinkansen runs alongside the regular trains there. Next is events. If you're lucky enough to get tickets for the Nintendo Museum near Kyoto, which is very hard to get tickets for, make sure you stick around until after dark because they've got special illuminations for the 40th anniversary of Super Mario. That's on until the 27th of April. If you need ideas for something else to do there until the evening, check out my video about Uji where you can see the beautiful temple Byodo-in, and the street next to it has so many matcha flavoured snacks. Uji is on the edge of Kyoto. It's so quick to get there on the train. Next, I just had to mention this in exhibitions. Hello Kitty did a collab with algae. It's just Hello Kitty dressed as different varieties of algae. That's a combination you'd never expect. It was on display in the expo in Osaka, but now you can see it in Nagoya. They've added it to the Hello Kitty exhibition that's been touring Japan, so you can see it there until the 15th of February. I would not miss the chance to see that. There's an interesting art exhibition in Tokyo at the Mori Art Museum. It's called Roppongi Crossing 2025 with modern art from 21 artists. One that caught my eye was this installation that recreates the Roppongi metro station exit, but it's made of cardboard. Somehow it looks just like real life, but also like a drawing. I think it'd be really interesting to see it in person, especially as the location's the same as where the exhibition is, in Roppongi. There's an exhibition from Takashi Murakami at Kaikai Kiki Gallery in Tokyo, which is owned by the artist. He created his own versions of ukiyo-e woodblock prints from Hiroshige's 100 Views of Edo with his own twist. Originally, the paintings were on display in New York, and this exhibition has prints of them. There's a Ghost in the Shell exhibition in Tokyo. It's the first large-scale exhibition about the anime series. Sebastian Masuda of 6% Doki Doki and Kawaii Monster Land is having an exhibition this spring and summer. It's in Hano, which is right on the edge of outer Tokyo. It's called Kawaii-topia Go to Heaven Hell. I'm sure it will be very cute, colourful and pink. There's a My Melody and Kuromi exhibition in Tokyo in Shibuya called Miniature Wonderland with scenes and models from the stop motion series. The Capcom exhibition we've had before on Japan News is now in Tokyo, and after that it'll be moving to Niigata. And there's a Danganronpa exhibition coming up in March for the 15th anniversary of the game. Japan Travel News is at the start of every month. There are also lots of tips for your trip in my other videos, which are every week on Thursdays. So that's it for Japan News. We've had Hello Kitty algae, a bonsai workshop, and Kawaii-topia. Tell me in the comments if you'll be going to any of these things, and I'll see you next week with more Japan videos every Thursday. Bye bye!